so this is the gentle movement sessions, and we're going to start in a seated position on the floor. If you need, you can have a block or a cushion. We might find these useful for this session today. So just have them within arm's reach. And you wouldn't need any particular other equipment, but you do need enough space to be able to maybe have arm's reach at either end of maybe a mat area, as we will be doing some standing exercises and a lying down exercise. So if you can just take a moment, we're going to connect first with our breathing. So you can have your arms resting, hands resting on your knees, or if it's comfortable, maybe place a hand on your chest and your stomach. And we're going to just gently close the eyes and bring our attention to our breath. So focusing on whether the breath is travelling down to the stomach or to the chest. We're going to take 10 breaths here. So you can breathe in through the nose or the mouth, and out through the nose or the mouth. Try to relax the shoulders and the neck. And if you feel your mind wandering, just bring it back to breathing, noticing what your breath is doing. And we're going to take about 3 more breaths. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the present moment. So the first movement that we're going to do will be for the neck. And that means that we need to be with our arms quite relaxed by our sides, maybe hands resting on our knees or maybe to the side. And we're going to take some shoulder shrugs as we breathe in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to stretch or bring our right ear to right shoulder. And then breathing in back to the middle to bring the shoulders up. And then as we breathe out, left ear, left shoulder. Breathing in, shoulders up to the ears, and then breathing out, right ear, right shoulder. Breathing in, shoulders up, and breathing out, left ear, left shoulder. Last one. Breathing in, shoulders up. Breathing out, right ear, right shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch along the left side of the neck. Breathing in, shoulders up, breathing out, left ear, left shoulder. And then as you breathe in, coming back to the starting seated position. And next we'll do some movement with the spine, the whole spine. So again, sitting with hands resting on the knees. We're going to draw some circles with our chest. So we're moving, kind of combining a cat-cow movement of lifting the chest forwards and up as we breathe in, but at the same time we're moving our chest out to the side, to the left. And then as we breathe out, we bring the chest back and out to the right. Breathing in and up to the left. Let's do 3 of these, and forwards and then out to the sides as we breathe out, and then back. Breathing in, chest comes forwards via the left side and out via the right. Just hollow out the chest. Last one. Breathing in, chest forward, breathing out, chest back. We're moving the opposite direction, so breathing in, This time the chest is going out to the front via the right side and breathing out via the left. Breathing in again. Let's do 3 more. Chest forward. Breathing out, hollowing out the spine. Last one. Or maybe 2 more actually. Chest forward. Breathing out. This is the last one. Breathing in, bring the chest forwards via the right and out via the left. So we've drawn some big circles there with our sort of chest. And now we're going to move to a standing position. So if you can find a way to come to stand on your feet. And we're going to take a fairly narrow stance. We don't want to be wider than hip width. So whatever's kind of shoulder or hip width for you. I'm going to step back up so you can see what I'm doing here. So we're going to do a spinal curl or some spinal flexion for the whole spine now. So if I turn to the side so you can see a little bit better, we're going to start by taking a nice deep breath in and elongating the spine. And then as we breathe out, bringing the chin to the chest and our arms are relaxed by our sides. And we're just going to continue kind of furling up, I guess. If you imagine a fern or like a droopy plant, we're basically moving into a forward folding position as we exhale. You might want to take a little bit of movement just to let your arms and head kind of dangle a little and just help the muscles relax a little bit. Allow everything to sort of elongate a little bit. Now when you get to the end of range of movement, we're going to start breathing in and returning back to the starting position the way we came. So you might be here like me, or you could be somewhere up here, it's fine. You may feel a bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, so just bend the knees if you feel that. And as you come back up to standing, you're breathing in and almost imagining that you're sitting, moving the hips back and then rolling up the way you came into a nice neutral stance. So we'll try that again, so taking a deep breath in, elongating upwards, and then as you breathe out, chin to chest, nice soft bend in the knees. You're going to start rolling down, maybe bringing in a little bit of a pendulum movement. So you can breathe normally as you do this. I find it nicer to have a longer exhale. And then when you reach the bottom again, bend the knees and kind of come to sit almost back into rolling up. Breathing in and standing up straight. We'll do one more of those. So nice deep breath in, elongating and straightening out the spine as though there's a string connecting our head to the ceiling. And then as we breathe out, chin to chest. And then we're just kind of rolling forwards and downwards with a little bit of a pendulum. And whenever you're ready, you can roll back up to the starting position. I think we said we'd do 1 or 2 more, but I'm definitely going to do 1. So last one, deep breath in, elongate the spine, breathing out, chin to chest, soft bend in the knees, arms hanging freely. Maybe a little bit of a pendulum movement. And then when you're ready, breathing in to come back up to the start position. Lovely. So this time we're going to do we're going to bring in an end kind of movement to this, a movement at the end. So before you join in, I'm just going to show you what I mean by this. So you might want to have a block or a cushion handy with an arm's reach. I find a block is the most suitable for this, but we're going to end up in this position with our feet off the floor in a kind of like a ball kind of shape. So you're going to use your hands to support your balance, and your head's going to kind of like rest wherever it needs to. If you have to escape from this position because it's hard on the feet or the ankles, then just come forwards into either a kneeling position or 4 points of contact. But this is where we're going to end up. And if you feel like the soles of your feet or your heels are kind of not touching the ground but it's really uncomfortable, you can come to put a block behind your heels so that you're a bit more supported and there's less stress on your toes too. So I'm going to show you how we access this particular movement. So we're starting from the standing position with our feet, same, less than hip width stance. And we're taking a deep breath in to elongate the spine. And as we breathe out, we're going through the motions of our forward fold, so chin to chest and then rolling down. Taking time, we can bring the pendulum movement in. And we want to bring our hands to rest on the floor, so we might have to bend the knees quite a lot to do this. And then once we're there, we're going to lift the toes up and kind of roll into a little ball. Again, you could bring the block under the heels. You can use a cushion if you can't find a block, or a textbook, that helps. So we're taking some nice deep breaths here. If you're on the tiptoes, we're just using the fingers maybe a bit more for stability. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Try to breathe into the rib cage at the back and the upper back. And then when you're ready, you can bring the weight forwards a little bit onto the hands and drop the heels. And then we're going to roll back up, so try to maybe come into lift the hands first and then breathing in, rolling back up to the starting position, vertebrae by vertebrae. Maybe take a counter movement, open up the arms a little bit, perhaps reach above the head. And then we're going to do that one more time. So breathing in, elongating the spine, breathing out, chin to chest. Knees are soft, arms are loose and hanging freely. And rolling all the way down to touch the ground with the fingertips, and then lifting the heels into a little ball. Kind of rest here. Neck is nice and relaxed. If we can. A few deep breaths into the back. Let's take 3 deep breaths into the back. And on the last breath, we can pop the heels down and come back up the way we came. So unfurling vertebrae by vertebrae up to standing position. Again, you might want to take a little overhead reach, just a little stretch. And then we're going to do another forward folding movement, but this time we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than hip width. So we're going to have the heels turned out a little bit more than the toes. So it's almost like the line coming out of our feet intersects in between somewhere to form a triangle kind of shape. And we're going to take a forward fold hinging at the hip this time, so taking a nice deep breath to elongate the spine, and then we're hinging rather than curling or furling like a fern. And if you need a block to kind of bring the floor up to you, you can, but we basically want to bring our hands to rest to the floor. Might mean that you have to bend the knees a little bit to lower the bottom so that the hamstrings are a little bit less stressed. So when we're kind of in our forward fold, if we need to, we can have the block. If not, we're going to place one hand in the middle, so our right hand goes directly beneath our nose, and then as we breathe in, as we breathe out, we're going to rotate towards the left side. So we're going to be looking up towards the ceiling. Ideally, the thumb should be somewhere over your nose, and your other hand should be directly beneath your head. So taking some nice deep breaths as you breathe out. You want to twist a little bit further maybe. So elongating the spine as we breathe in, and then as we breathe out, maybe rotate a little bit further. 2 more breaths. And on the last breath in, we're going to bring the hand back down to the floor. And we're going to switch sides, so we're going to place the left hand between the feet and directly beneath the nose, and then on the exhale we're going to rotate the spine so that we're looking up towards the right hand. Two more breaths. Try to twist a little further if you can. If you need to be up on your fingertips on the block, it's what this may look like for you. And then on your last breath, we come back to the forward fold, and then we're just going to come back up into standing. So you may want to place your hands on your hips just to sort of remind yourself to hinge from the hips. So as you're breathing in, we're coming back up into our normal stance. And we're going to actually return to a narrower stance now for our balancing work. Again, you may want a block, and this time placing it in front of you with your narrow stance. We're going to do a movement that you may recognise if you do yoga as Halfmoon Pose. So we're going to start by moving into a forward fold, hinging at the hip but with a narrow base of support, so feet are about hip width or narrower. So we're pushing the hips backwards, hinging at the hip, and you want to make sure you've got enough room behind you that you're not going to kick anything, and bringing the hands to the floor or to the block, just one hand. So if you've got a block, place it slightly to the right of your right foot in front, and then we're going to lift the left foot. Sorry, I forgot to reverse these instructions. So bringing the left hand to the block on your left and in front of you, you're going to lift your right leg. You can have your hand to your hip, or if you can, straighten out your leg fully, your right leg. Your right arm is going to come up, and hopefully, if you can, bring your thumb directly over your nose and just look out to the side. So the left knee can be a little bit bent, and we're turning the toes of the right foot down towards the floor, and the heel is pressing out behind us. And we're just going to stay here for maybe two more breaths. Good challenge for balance. And on the last breath, we're going to come back down, and on the last exhale, to bring both feet to the floor, and maybe we take a little forward fold, or we can rest on the block, or if you wish, you can come to stand, just so to give the hamstrings a bit of a break. And then we're going to switch sides. So we'll take the block out to the right side, just in front, or if we don't need that, we're going to be aiming for the right side. I quite like a block myself at home. So taking a nice deep breath in when you're ready, elongating the spine, exhaling to hip hinge. I'm going to bring my block in, and then once you're kind of in situ, lifting up the left leg, so the block is on the right side this time. And if you can, maybe your hand is on your hip, maybe if you're feeling particularly adventurous, you can lift it up overhead so that your thumb is somewhere over where your nose would be. If you glance up, you might be able to see it. And we're pushing the heel back with the left foot towards the wall behind us. Toes are down, pointing towards the ground. Two more breaths. finished with that breath, I'm going to exhale to bring the leg down and the hands. Again, we may want to forward fold, or we may want to just hinge back up to a starting position. Hopefully that was nice and challenging and woke you up. The last movement we'll do will be a challenge for the core muscles, so it's boat pose. So we're going to come into a lying position initially to move into boat pose, but when we do the repetitions I'll show you the transition in a moment. Basically, boat pose is when we're lifting up our hands and our feet and are at the same time as our upper body. So you can choose either to lift just your upper body, maybe just your legs, or both. Actually, accessing it's probably easier to go from sitting, so let's try that. So we're going to start with by lifting our legs. So if we can take a nice comfortable seat, bend the knees, feet are flat. We'll start by lifting up the legs in front so that their shins are parallel to the floor, and then hands are out to the side, palms facing up. And then we'll hold here for a few seconds, so maybe take 3 breaths. And then we're going to touch down with the toes and take a moment. You can lean back if you need to give the muscles a rest in the stomach. We're going to do 5 of these, each for 3 seconds. So I'm going to count you in. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. So counting down. 3, 2, 1. Boat pose. 1, 2, 3. And relax. Maybe on the next one we can go a little bit wider. So counting down. 3, 2, 1. Boat pose. Go a little bit more extended. Straighten out the knees a bit. 3, 2, 1. And then relax. I think that's 3 more we've got now. So we've done 2. Let's do 3 more. Take a moment just to rest. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Lift the feet. We're going into boat pose. Can you go any straighter? Can you straighten out your legs? 3, 2, 1. And relax. Last one. I think that's right. Is it the last one? I think we've got 2 more actually. I'm losing track. It's not that early in the morning anymore either. Okay, so we've had a moment to relax. Let's do the penultimate boat pose. So 3, 2, 1. Boat pose. You can straighten out the legs. Let's try that. 3, 2, 1. And touch down. Hopefully you're warming up a little bit. And we're just going to repeat that. The last one now. Maybe take a moment just to stretch out. Get ready. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Boat pose. 1, 2, 3. Touch down and relax. Okay. So take a moment just to do what you need, just to recover. And then we're going to come to sit. If you need to sit on a cushion just to lift your hips up off the floor, you can. Quite like that. And take a nice cross-legged or kneeling position. If you need a chair, you can sit on a chair. And we're just going to reconnect with the breath at the end of this session. So your hands can be rested on your knees. You could place a hand on your chest or your stomach, just to kind of track where the breath is going. We're just going to gently close the eyes and just check in and see how our breath compares with the start of the session. So we're just going to take 10 nice relaxing breaths before we wrap up this session. I want you to notice whether the breath you're sending to the chest, whether the ribs are rising and falling, whether it's going to the stomach, maybe even under the armpits, the side body. If your mind starts to wander, you're already planning your day, racing ahead, just bring your attention back to the breath. The last 2 breaths. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the present moment. And I hope that, that concludes this session, so I hope that you're feeling a little bit more relaxed and awake and ready to continue with the rest of your day. And I'll catch you in the next session. These sessions are available every week on Zoom for free. I hope that you'll come and join us live. I do have a Patreon page where I'm offering more regular classes, so if you want to check that out, you can find that via my Facebook page and the website move-well.co.uk. If you have any questions, please do drop them into the comments below, and I hope that I will see you very soon.